Hey there, and welcome to this study notes course on the Spanish Romance. Such a classic, beautiful piece. This piece, because it's so popular, you'd think it would be easier, but it's not. It's got some serious stretches in it. It's got bars, it's all over the fretboard. It's got some serious connectivity issues. So how do I connect this chord to this chord and make it really smooth so it doesn't sound like a big chasm in between each one. So there are some serious technical issues with this piece, even though it's so popular and it sounds, it's such a simple tune, it's such a simple melody. But that's the beauty of it. And so our goal as guitarists is to make it to where the listener cannot tell that it's hard and it just sounds like this beautiful, effortless thing that we do. So that's the goal. So then how do we do that? So this is what we're going to do. In this course of study notes here, then what we're going to do is go through and look at how to learn it initially, so how to learn it, and then also some problem solving on how to work out some of the bugs and save your hands and make sure that everything is beautiful and all that. So let's jump right in. Well, to begin with, whenever we see a big piece of music like this, the first instinct is usually to just start playing it, right? Because we want to hear the notes come out and we want to see what's going on. Oh, I'm just figuring it out. A better way to do this, instead of taking it as written, a better way to do this would be to just take the shapes and play them as chunks. So with your hand, with your right hand, just do chunks. So instead of the arpeggio pattern, then we'll just take the chunk. Thumb on every third, right? And then play through your notes in that way. And so you play through that way. Whenever you do it this way, you're taking out a lot of the confusing sound, because what's going to happen is if you just listen to this. I'm accidentally hit it. I meant to miss it. It buzzed, right? I'm trying to make an ugly note on that note. Well, if you're just playing and it's if you've got a ton of notes going on, it's easy to miss things. Speed creates the illusion of perfection. So the more stuff we have going on, the easier it is to get distracted from the fundamental details. And the fundamental details in this piece is the melody. So really, all this piece is a melody, right? This is a melody. That's the piece. All this other stuff is atmosphere. It should just be a shimmer underneath everything. Ideally, as listeners, we should forget about it, and it should just go into the texture of the piece, just into the atmosphere. And what we're left with is this beautiful singing melody that happens to have this shimmering stuff going on underneath it in this bass grounding it. So that's the goal. If you practice that way all the time, it becomes something else. It overwhelms the melody, very possibly, but it also distracts you from the details of things. So, to recap, practice in chunks. This also is a faster way to practice because you can go and get through it much faster than you would if you were playing. It's the half the tempo. So you can practice more effectively by eliminating all that stuff. After the fact, then you can go in and put it. Now, at the same time as you're doing this with your chunks in the piece, you may, in your technique practice, be doing something that includes an AMI pattern. So just really quickly to speak about AMI pattern, this is the way I like to approach AMI. If you do it as all three, then it can easily turn into a lilt thing and not an even rhythm. So what I like to do is when the A plays the E string, these two, the M and the I come out, the M plants slightly and the I goes slightly further. If you're at first, which you probably shouldn't be, if you're playing this tune, then well, you could do it. You can also plant them both, is what I'm trying to say here. And I recommend that beginners do both planting just to get the two fingers coming out at the same time and getting that into the habit. With speed, that planting both at the same time becomes a little bit cumbersome. And so then what we can do is throw them both out, but throw the I out further. Then when the M lands directly on the string, when the M plays, it pulls the I right in. When the I plays, it alternates with A. So that then you can build it to speed. The other thing that you'll oftentimes see people doing in this piece and this type of piece is to do a rest stroke for the melody note. I'm not a fan of this type of playing because to do this rest stroke, you're then in a different position with your M and A for your arpeggios, and I don't like the tone quality. I like a warmer tone quality, or at least the option of a warmer tone quality with the accompanimental notes, and it also stops the string. So this can ring the entire time if you don't do a rest stroke on it. It's a subtle point, but that's it. That said, a lot of great players play this type of arpeggio stuff with rest strokes in it. It's kind of an old school way of doing it. A lot of like mid 1900s. That was the style with the footstool, and it was all very much like this. And so there was a lot of rest stroke on those type of melodies. Now, with the consistency of strings and everything, we can get a sound that's very similar to a rest stroke, if not exactly the same. It's pretty much the same, and the free stroke allows you more consistency and ease in the hand. And so if you rotate your hand down a little bit and give a little bit of flesh to the string on your finger, then it will sound a big, beautiful sound anyway. So that's all I'll say about that. That is the using chunks then instead of arpeggios. Whenever you do then practice the arpeggios in your technique practice, be doing something with that, any kind of whatever type of exercises you do, put in an AMI pattern into your technique practice, and it will help. So you're getting that part of it. You're practicing that up while practicing the chunks over here to learn the piece. All right, have fun, do good work. Hope to see you soon. Bye.